Hi, Nina.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Thank
Can
you
you
so
see me, hear
much.
me?
Yes, perfect. Thank you
Good.
so much for your time. It's an honor for us having you today. And
Thank you very much.
we would like you to talk a little bit about your experience, your work around the world. And in the last 15 minutes, we are going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Okay?
So, I'm Nina Tarasova. I'm from Russia. I'm Russian pastry chef. I have experience more than 10 years. Before how to became to be pastry chef, I had 2 degrees from university from totally different area. It was not from culinary, from pastry. For the first, I'm I'm director of the scenery, that to make scenery of the theater, of the movie, of the music. The second, I'm a chef. Human resource. I work at an IT company, and I was a big director at the HR department in a very huge IT company. So, and then one day I think I'm so boring to sit at home, and not at home, to sit at office, and yes, I speak with people, but it's something not enough for me. I would like to make something by hands. And I changed my professional for 180 degrees.
Totally different area.
Totally different. I understand that I cannot only sit in front of the computer, sit and speak with people. I need exactly to make something by hand and to give more to people, to this, to some area. And I think that in culinary, it's the best way, when I can give and feed up the people and can make happy people from the food, and I can create something new, interesting, and for me it was a lot of inspiration from inside. And I start to cook, I start to make little by little. For beginning, I totally not very understand what I like more to make, like normal cuisine, fish, chicken, meat. I made everything, and pasta and chicken and pizza and some desserts. But time after time, I understand that when I prepare some cake or some entremet, I feel more happiness inside my heart. It was like, if I prepare some piece of meat, yes, it's nice. I make photo like this, okay. But when I make some cake or dessert, I make 100 photos with different raccoons, and with a sauce, a small spoon. I enjoy this for test. It's so good, this combination. Oh, maybe I can change something. And 10 years ago, it was very difficult to find vanilla, inverted sugar, glucose in my country. It was totally not possible. And my friends from different countries around the world sent to me some other ingredients that I just start to prepare some mini cake. And I understand that it's exactly mine, because I have so a lot of power from me from inside, that I understand for me it's not enough. Okay, now I translate one French book, I translate second French book, I prepare all from Pierre Hermé, from Christophe Michalak. I made his dessert, but okay, I can copy very good copy paste, very good, but for me it's not enough. I don't understand how they work in the ingredients. Why pastry creme? It's exactly pastry creme. Why I need to cook, and what will happen if I change some starch for other starch or for flour? Why and how it's work? And I understand that I would like to go to study, and exactly to understand I need the new diploma, third diploma, that to never enough to understand all these things. And I made a big choice. I opened the internet and I wrote to Le Cordon Bleu Paris, I wrote to Alain Ducasse School in SP, I wrote to School of Lenotre. I wrote to all the schools that have feedback and understand what is good for timing, for money, and for my level, what is good for me and where I can go. I have answer from all the schools, and I understand that Lenotre school only 6 months. For me, it's too much because at this time I had very small baby. I have a daughter, and it's not possible to leave for 6 months. And after 6 months internship, it's 1 year without my family. It's very, very complicated.
Yes.
Secondly, cordon bleu, it was very expensive, and I spoke with some of my friends, and they said that Le Cordon Bleu not exactly now too interesting to teach. They're very interested about the money, and you will be like in the side. And I think no. I for me very important, because I always ask. I always, when I study, I will, why? And if chef will not answer to me, I will very upset, and because it's so huge money for me was at this time that I think if I will not have any answer for my question, it's not good, because I will cry about my money, because it's the study in pastry, but it's any kind of study. It's very expensive. You need to exactly understand for what you need this. Only for diploma, okay, I will have uniform Le Cordon Bleu, I have diploma Le Cordon Bleu, but my knowledges, what will be with my knowledges? I don't know. Yes, and I think, okay, I go to school Alain Ducasse. At this time, nobody know about the school. Some very, very far. It's under the Lyon, and the very small village in Saint-Jean. And I think, okay, I don't care about the name. I don't care about the some famous school. I exactly care about the knowledges. And I was very happy about my choice. It's like a destiny, because it's really the best teachers was in my time. And I don't know, I know that my teachers not anymore work at this school, but at my time it was the best teachers in the world. And I still very good friend with my teachers, and sometimes we work together, and it's fantastic for me that. Yes, and when I come in the first time at this school, we stay with my group, and chef asked to us, why you coming, for what? It was very important, like interview that understand for what the students they coming. In my group was 10 person. And some said, oh, I want to work in restaurant. Somebody said, I want to open pastry shop. And only me said, I want to teach. And they're like, what? I said, yes, I want to teach. I understand that it's so mine that I don't want to keep in some small area my knowledges, my techniques. I want to share it around the world. I want to give maximum to people, because I'm alone, and alone I cannot make happy this world. But if I will give piece of my knowledges, of my energy, of my love of pastry, these people will take it like virus. Yes, they take my love and share with this auditory, and like this we can make this world tasty, happiness. Yes, and very good. And I know that not all students from my class was really sure about why they coming. As I said, that it's very important to understand. For somebody, work give this money. For somebody, parents give this money, and they just okay, it's like a holiday, and they didn't understand what the real price of all these knowledges, why this. And I study like a crazy. I always go in with a photo camera, with my big Canon, and chef to mix something. I go in inside this casserole, and chef, why is this color? Why is change this color? And at the end, when director give to us diploma, my chef said about me, because I had diploma plus how to say, plus that they said that I was the best students, and they give to me like present 1 year. Some famous French magazine sent to me this magazine to Russia, and my chef said that Nina, because she always why asked me about everything, and her nose always was inside my casserole, always. When doesn't matter what I made, she always inside this. And chef why it's very important. When when I now teach my students, and I explain something, I very like question. When not only they stay like this, okay chef, can we make photo with you, I coming from other part of the world, not to make photo of me. Okay, yes, you can make for your pleasure, but after, when everything will finish, now please use me for your for yourself, because you can ask me at this course whatever you want, and I can answer to you. Maybe I forget something, maybe I think that it's doesn't matter for me, because for me it's very simple thing, but for you, you don't know these simple things, and maybe the simple things will make easier your life, easier your past area, and you can make something wow only because of this.
It's sometimes it's just in detail, but it can change all the way you cook, you prepare your desserts.
Yes, exactly.
No, really nice. And nowadays you teach around the world, right?
Yes. Now maybe like 5 years already. I travel, I make consulting for the restaurant, for the different pastry shop. I teach the students around the world, everywhere.
It's a really
nice experience. It's very good. I love it. Now I very miss to sit at home. I very miss by my students, but this crazy life when you always travel to meet new inspiration, new product, new test, because always in my traveling I find something new that I can use for my desserts. It's inspiration in the air. It's everywhere. It's so cool. It's good. And now
we would like you to talk a little bit more about how is your creative process. Where can you find some inspirations? Well, you just talk now. Traveling is a really good source of inspiration, but how it works, your creative process?
No, it's always independent of the situation. It's always I have inspiration from everything. Sometimes it can be a new product, some new fruit puree, some new test of puree, or new real fruit that I test in some country that it's coming for me, and I start to think, okay, what the good combination it can be, how I can find it in Russia and make this test in Russia, because it's very, very interesting. And for example, when I last time was in Madagascar, they present to me flour from the baobab, from the fruit of baobab. I totally didn't know what is this, how it's used, but it was so interesting that I bring, of course, to my home this flour, and I start to make something that understand this test, how it's work, what the protein inside, how it's the texture will be for the sponge cake, for the cookie, for the tea cake. It's always very interesting. Sometimes first coming to me a design of the future dessert. I remember one situation. It was I fly to Las Vegas. It was very, very long flight, I don't know, maybe more than 24 hours from Russia. It's a very long flight. And, I have pain in my neck, in my shoulder, in my back. I cannot sleep because I cannot find a good position. And in one moment when I was like between sleep and between not sleep, I like a flash. I saw design of new desserts. It looks like a candle, and I understand. Okay, like a candle. So around the sponge cake inside, I can put some mousse gelée like this. Like candle is with a flame. It's melting, and it's a picture like this. And on the top, I can make this type of mousse form. And I woke up like this. My night board that sits with me, because yes, and she went, oh my god, because like this. Because
you just had an idea.
I'm very jumping, and I start to paint this dessert very fast. And don't forget it. I always have in my bag some pencil with a colorant that I painted with colors. And after I sleep. And I was very happy because I slept until all flight after this. Yes, so it's always coming from different ways. Sometimes I just walk in Paris, for example, and I very like to walk and look around, because they have very, very beautiful cage on the window. You know that in Paris all houses have totally different picture of this cage. and not any same. All house is different picture of the cage. It's so beautiful. And I when one time I go and I look, I paint, I try to paint the different the picture, and again I create some new desserts. How? Because it's inspiration from these cages, because it's so beautiful. So it's always coming from the different things, sometimes from the product, and sometimes first it's design. And I think what can test good for this type of design.
Oh, nice. And I have one more question. These days you have been working a lot with macarons. So what are
You
your
saw it.
what are your tips for working with this product? It's a really difficult one.
Yes, I really very like to work with macaron. I work with this maybe. I started to try to make macaron. It was same very funny story, because when I only start to cook, only start to make dessert and main dishes, I find in one forum in internet, on Russian forum, this dessert macaron. And girl explain very detailed and said that this can be problem, this can be problem, this can be problem. And I read it and think, no way, I never will prepare these things. It's so complicated. It's so hard. And if some small mistake, it's nothing will looks good. No. I never will prepare this. And after 2 years, I start to make macaron. And now I very love it. I really love it. I use the different type of method of the macaron, because I always try to find less sweetness or some different shape, or answer why le colorette, this droop around the macaron, can be bigger, smaller, can be up or down, because we have a lot of different things about this. And now I work with 5 different recipes of the shape. It's first French meringue, Italian meringue. I prefer Italian meringue. For me, it's more stability, it's much better. My recipe, it's when inside the shell of macaron, I use the chocolate, melted chocolate inside, and 2 type of vegan macaron, with Italian vegan meringue and French vegan meringue. So 5 different shapes, and always I change independent of the situation. If it's vegan, it's vegan. If I need to make some very fast macaron, like for decoration or for something, I use French meringue, because it's very fast. If it's I made for consulting, like for pastry shop or so for restaurant, I use my recipe with the chocolate inside, because they totally full inside, and the taste like a brownie of this cookie, of this shape. It's very good for the taste for me. And Italian, it's normal for master classes, because it's fast stability. I'm for 99% sure about the results, because oven it's same very important. Yes, the last time I think that just normal type of macaron, sweet macaron with different filling, it's so boring, because I can make it like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's okay, it's nice taste, and only change raspberry for strawberry, or some make new ganache, or some make caramel. It's totally so useful that people cannot be surprised. And I think what I can to make that surprise these people, and today I show in my stories that I make salty macaron. It's a lot of question about the shape it's salty or not. No, it's not possible to make the salty shape, because if you will take out little bit sugar, it doesn't work. You will have like meringue, like almond meringue, and that's all. You will not have like colorette. It's really not possible to take out this white sugar. Yes, you can change for maltosa or for something. But it's different taste, like a little bit chemical after taste, and I don't like it. That's why I prefer better to find the good balance of the sweet and salty inside the fillings. That's why I try to find the so good fillings that it can be very good combination, like sour and salty, like sweet and salty, that it can very good like mariage together. And that's why I start to create new fillings. It's like pate, liver pate with caramelized onion. Caramelized onion, very sweet, and pate, it's pate, and it's good combination with the sweet shell of macaron. And like this, it's going when just need to understand the taste of the product, and like this, you can to find always the good way. That's why always very important to test your dessert. And not possible to say in our professional, I don't like something or I like something, because we like blink, we like no taste, no eyes. We must forget about what we like or don't like. I don't like caramel, but I have a lot of dessert with the caramel, because I know that people around the world, they crazy about caramel, and they can sell the soul to Diavolo only to have this good bank of salty caramel. I understand this, and I'm full of respect to these people. That's why I have a macaron with salty caramel, and I have a lot of individual cake and a lot of dessert with the caramel. Why, if I don't like, people need to be upset about me that I cannot to give this, and I will always test, because I understand what the best caramel for the texture, for the stability, for the aftertaste, for the taste, less sweet, more sweet. I always test it. And last time I was with a friend in Paris, and we take 10,000 petals from the Pierre Hermé. He made a fantastic millefeuille. It's one of the best millefeuille in the world, really. Pierre Hermé, it's god of desserts for me. And this millefeuille was with the praline and salty caramel. But this salty caramel was bitter. When you taste it, you feel bitterness. For Russia auditory, for Russia people, it means that caramel burn. Nobody will buy it, nobody will eat it. And my friend also said, Pierre Hermé burned the caramel and he sell it. I said, no. Because in France, it's the best texture and taste of caramel when you have little bit bitterness. But it's only, maybe only for France, maybe in some Europe also. But for Russia, it's not possible. Same with the tartelette. When French people bake the tartelette, for example, almond tartelette, they bake it totally brown, like a chocolate tartelette, very deep color. And if I will sell this tartelette in Russia, nobody will buy it. They will say that, oh, pastry chef, forget about tartelettes in the oven. It's everything burned, and he want or she want to sell this shit for us. No, never. So, but in France, if I will sell this white tartelette, nobody will buy it, because they will say that, oh, come on, it's not cooked enough. So we always need to understand what the culture, what the feelings of people. And for me, like for international pastry chef, I need to know all what's inside the mind of the people, and I need to be elastic for all this. I need always understand, okay, this way I need to little bit burn, and this way I need to not cook enough, and this way more salty. For example, in India or some Mexico, I need to make very sweet, or Brazil, very sweet, because they so like sweetness. And okay, I try to make this desserts like little bit sweet, and don't use some strange ingredients from my country, because they will not understand this. For example, I was one time in Mexico, and I had fantastic desserts with the oat porridge. In Russia, we always use on breakfast porridge. We like it. It's our culture. And it's not possible to say, oh, come on, porridge you eat. It's culture. Please be respect to our culture that we growing up. Me, my daughter, my mother, my grandmother, we growing up with this. And we love this porridge, oat porridge. We cook it with the milk, with a little bit salt and little bit sugar. And when I prepare this porridge for my daughter for breakfast, and I taste it, it was so tasty. And I think, oh my God, why this porridge cannot be the cake? And I think, why it cannot be the cake? It can be the cake. And I make very good cake with mousse, with this porridge, with vanilla, with this porridge, little bit salty, inside fruit jelly, and sponge cake with the same with the oat. In Russia, it was the best. In restaurant where I work in Russia, in St. Petersburg, it sell on the breakfast like this. Because a lot, because people think that if it's Polish, it's very healthy, and that's why we can eat these desserts for the breakfast. Okay, but when with these desserts I go into the Mexico and I bring my Russia porridge, my box of Russia porridge, I explain about our culture. I explain that I want to share with you with my Russia soul and give to you piece of Russia that you understand how it's beautiful. Nobody understands this. Nobody. They eat like nice, but no. That's why I understand. Okay, with my culture, I cannot go to other culture and say that my culture is the best because I'm Russian and we eat this porridge and because it's healthy and very good. No, I need to respect to any culture, to all people who are bit for the culture inside this country. And that's why I always try to be elastic. Okay, you like more sweet? I will prepare a special program for your country. You prefer less sweet or vegan? Okay, I will prepare for you. Like for Canada, in Canada, a lot of people have allergy for everything. So I need to make gluten-free, lactose-free, sugarless desserts that only came to Canada, and my auditory, my students will be happy because I think about the culture of these students. And it's very important for me to respect to all cultures and all things around the world.
Really nice. And what's your favorite flavor?
Passion fruit and mango. I love it.
Nice.
Yes, it's so classic, but for me, if something with passion fruit and mango, I can eat 1 ton. I love it. Yes, it's the best fruit in the world.
Yeah, and it's nice because there are fruits in it. One question I really would like to ask you is about sugar. Here in Brazil, we are talking a lot about sugar as a villain, the bad guy, you know? It's not healthy.
But you love sweet things.
Yes, but there is a movement that are not using sugar anymore in the sweeties, in the desserts, but they are using some other kind of
stevia.
But many of other kinds of scientific sugar, not natural sugar, you know, artificial sugar.
Okay.
Do you see this happening in the world, in Russia? What's your opinion about it?
In Russia, not a lot, but people start to think about more healthy. But it's more because it's modern, it's very new, and you can be on the wave of the famous people with a diet or something. Not a lot of about health, but a lot of about diet, and that be on the top with a new technology. But yes, around the world, little bit by little, it's coming because people start to ask about the sugarless desserts, and a lot of company like if you know Gostou company, they make totally sugar. It looks like a sugar, like a more like powder sugar, but it's so less with sweetness, with this % of the sweetness, and you can make caramel from the sugar. You can use this to the pate choux, to the sponge cake, to any kind of your product, and you will have. For example, when I first time to make caramel with this Gostou sugar, I was so surprised because it's really color of the caramel, it's texture of the caramel, but it's not sweet. You have flavor of the caramel, but it's not sweet. And I was very surprised. And sauce ingredients, they also made now a lot of different things like dextrose, sucrose, like maltose, and different products that find the way to make less sweetness and take more natural flavors from the fruits, from the nuts, that it will be on the top, not exactly the sweetness.
So I have a really important question to you. A matter which has been under discussion here in Brazil is the women's role in the pastry industry. We have a lot of great women's chefs here in Brazil, like Natália Gonçalves, Raíza Zanetti, and Patrícia Morita. And the Brazilian pastry is something that emerged within homes, mostly by women, moms and grandmoms. But when we go to the professional scenario, it seems it's the opposite. It's a male environment, you know. What's your opinion about this across the world? Once you travel a lot, and in Russia, do you see this? It's like a male environment in the professional scenario.
Like it's men's world.
Like women. It's how can I say this? Women do a lot of pastry, but when we go to fine dining restaurants and the professional scenario, we see many men doing this job, not many of women. And it's a male.
It's the same around the world. I cannot say that it's different in somewhere, because when I worked, for example, in France, on the kitchen, I was only one woman, only one, and all other men. And when I was like beginner, nobody respect me. Like push yourself and run. And nobody help or something, because they said, what are you doing on the kitchen? On the kitchen, you need to have power, you need to be very strong, because you need to bring everything by yourself, and it's not for you. You are blonde girl from Russia, go back to your country, you don't need to be here. And after when I growing up, and now when I work in the restaurant, I see sometimes from the men chefs who older than me, like they look at me like, okay, show to us what you can to surprise me. But when I explain the new modern things, how to make easier eats life, how to make more tasty and faster, they really start to wow, okay. And now slowly, please, and repeat. And you always, woman, always need to like a fight that explain that we really can be in this way. We are same mind, we are same professional, we have the same power. And if I need to bring my mixer somewhere, okay, I cannot ask somebody. I take my mixer and go with this mixer, because okay, I'm not feminist or some that I can do by myself, but if I need it, I will make by myself. Okay, it's not a problem for me. And yes, when I teach in Europe, for example, France, Italy, Spain, I have more students men, and I always in this country, I always like, a lot of men cool on my course, because they help a lot. They really help a lot, and they work hard, because I know if men on the course, they come in really for work. They from the restaurant, from the some company, from some laboratory for work, and I know that this master class will be like very good work. If it's other country and more girls come in, sorry, it's my cat, and it's the girls coming for the first. The girls make for Instagram photo, they make selfie, they make more just for pleasure. When I always surprise, you know, when a girl come into my master class with a beautiful dress that they cannot move, with the shoes with a big talon, and I stay like this, and I said, what is this? And she said, please, I'm 2 years sit at home with a baby, and first time I'm going out, and for me it's like a celebration. I said, you will fall in after 1 hour on this talon. It's not safe, it's dangerous. You can we can put something hot on your naked legs. It's not possible. And I always said that how you want, but you going out, you change your dress and come back, because like this, it's dangerous. If something happens, it will be my fault, because I'm chef. I cannot do like this. And I know that men never make like this. Men never came to the shorts and with some décolleté. No, because they come into the work. Women more work now at home. Yes, it's very popular in Russia, same, to make cake for sale from the home. And that's why they sometimes not very understand what the uniform, what about the hire, about the nails with colors, about all this. They think it's so pleasure time to spend with the people, with full love of pastry.
It's more a hobby than a job, maybe.
Yes, yes. But when I saw that really people coming to take a lot of knowledges from me, I'm very happy, because I know that they after this will work like a crazy, that growing up, and I always happy to my students when they really understand what exactly they want. Because it's the first rules that you need to understand. You need to understand what you want, for what you come in. Yes, it's the first thing.
Let me see if I have one more question for you. This is a really good one. The last one. You have been navigating between the sophisticated pastry, the ones we see in the fine dining, but also the more artisan, homemade style nowadays, especially because of the TV shows you are running and the brand content you are planning with some companies. And how do you differentiate these two kinds of styles?
Two different styles between TV show and between
a more home style dessert and a dessert for a fine dining restaurant, for example. How do you see the difference? Do you believe it's the technique you employ, or the difficult level required to prepare it?
It's a little bit different. For me, if you make the dessert in restaurant, for me, if it's restaurant, it's only plating dessert. It's not good for restaurant when you prepare some cake to cut the piece and give to the people. It's not restaurant. Yes, for restaurant you need exactly to work with the plating dessert. When you complete your desserts exactly with the piping bag, with the ice cream, with some quenelle, beautiful, with some pieces of sand and it's beautiful and very fast. Need to give to the people who wait on the table, because ice cream can melt it. So this dessert you cannot bring to home. This dessert you need to eat exactly. And it's very interesting professional. I work many years in the restaurant and like a chef. I made a lot of plating desserts and I love it, but it's totally different area of the pastry. And when you make something at home, you cannot prepare plating dessert. You can prepare entremet, mousse, some individual cake, petit gâteau, some gâteau de voyage, brioches, millefeuille, some things that you can freeze, you can put in the fridge, and it can wait some days, or you can make a lot of mise en place, like sponges and something, freeze it for 1 month, and after use when you need it. So it's for cooking at home, it's more relaxing, because you can speak with your child to go in to prepare cutlet for your husband, after to make something, and to make, like, for example, one cake 3 days, if you have these 3 days, or you work in hard regime and you need to understand this part for husband, this part for child, this part for dog, and this now I need to prepare 10 cakes, and you can go in mad. So at home for me it's very, very complicated to work, very complicated. I never made dessert for the selling, because I have in my apartment this crazy cat and my cat everywhere, and I cannot to sell something and think that can be piece of my cat inside this cake. I will go and mad crazy. No. It's for me. It's for me not respect to the people. I know that I'm teacher. I prefer to make online courses. I have online school. I prefer to really to make classes when I can give a lot of people, and these people will growing up at home if it's comfortable for these people, or at pastry shop, or it's something. But you know, when I ask my organist about maybe we can make course for plating dessert because it's so cool, it's so fun, they said not a lot of interesting now, so better entremet, petit gâteau, no plating dessert. 2 years I tried to come into somewhere with the plating desserts, but no.
Okay.
People more interested about the cake.
Okay, so we have 2 questions here. Let me see. There is one question here that's a good one. What was your biggest challenge in your professional career?
Big challenge? What does it mean, big challenge?
Something you had to deal that was really difficult.
Very difficult for me was very first time to make consulting for Michelin star restaurant. I was very scared. I was crazy worry. I cannot sleep. I prepared this program that I teach the chef on the Michelin star restaurant, who I am, and chef on Michelin star restaurant, that I teach him with my program, and I made at home this program one after one, maybe 20 times, that to be sure about all proportion, to be sure about all ideas, how it's looking on the different plates, because I didn't know what the plates that have in the restaurant, and for me it was very big stress, but everything was well, everything was okay, and they invite me after this second time. So it's I make a good job. I was glad for this.
Nice. So Nina, we are really happy for having you today. Thank you so much. We appreciate a lot your time. And
Thank you.
In Brazil, Sobremesah has an event called Compartilhe. And I know that you have received an invitation some years ago, but we really want you to have here in Brazil, so to share your knowledge with us. So I hope next year, maybe this year, we are not sure how this event is going to happen, but next year we hope to have you here in Brazil. And thank you so much again.
Thank you very much. I will a big pleasure again. Welcome to Brazil. I was one time, and it's like a different planet, and I very love Brazil and Brazilian people. You know, I have a few minutes. I just told you that first time when I came to Brazil, it was for me very funny, because all people when meet me from the school, I was at school Diego Lozana, and all chefs, when they meet me, the first question, not like how was your flight, how you was your trip, because it was very long flight. The first question was, do you have tattoo? And at this time I didn't have tattoo. I'm like, no. So now I have 2 tattoos. So I can come to Brazil and say, yes, I have 2 tattoos.
Nice.
So thank you very much. It was very pleasure.
Pleasure. Bye bye.
So bye bye.